Hello and welcome to this week's writing tip. Today we will be discussing point of view and tense structures. Point of view is crucial in fiction, and it is one of the first important decisions an author has to make before starting the manuscript. Of course, the point of view might change as you go through the book, but remember, it is the view by which the book interacts with the reader. It determines how much the reader is able to know as the storyline progresses. First person point of view. This is seeing the scene through the eye of the character. An example of this is when you will use I and me in the storyline. For me, I use this a lot, particularly when writing horror. I find that images are able to be delivered in a more intense way from the point of view of the character. It can have a more visceral effect on the reader. This is great for horror imagery, nightmare landscapes, internal emotions and thoughts. Second person point of view is not very common. This is when you use you in the storyline. It is particularly hard to maintain a book or a short story from this viewpoint, as you're basically telling the reader what they are seeing and directing their thoughts and controlling the scenescape. This is only good for interacting directly with the reader to bring them into the story. This can help with engaging with the reader and making it more relatable, as if you are putting the reader in a place, situation or setting where the reader has to use their imagination. Too much of this point of view can become boring and stagnant, so use this only when necessary. Third person point of view is seeing the whole picture of the book through the eyes of an overseer, from a bird's eye point of view, where the reader gets to see what is happening with all the characters, the situations going on in the side stories or in the background, or what is happening step by step. I use this often in writing horror, as it gives the reader a clear view of every situation. I like to go between using first person and third person, even in short stories. Depending on the closeness of this point of view, you can be intimately close, as if you are looking over the character's shoulder, or an omniscient point of view where the viewer is higher and not so intimately close to the character. It's a good way to deliver a novel, as they don't always have to be linear stories with many characters. This point of view can help you to keep your characters contained, where you know what is going on, when and why. So overall, I would say this is the first decision. Then the second decision is tense. Will you choose past tense, present tense or future tense? Let's discuss the tenses very briefly, and here are the three main verb tenses. Past tense. This is when the story is set in the past, meaning it has already happened, so you will use did instead of do, said instead of say. This tense is great for backstory, flashbacks, memories, example. You can, etc. You can also, over the course of this, so you can of course write a story with just this tense, but I found that I tend to start it in in the present tense, and then I will jump backwards into a flashback scene or memory. The most common one of these is past simple. So the other three tenses are the past continuous, past perfect simple, and past perfect continuous. And these obviously help us to say what we want more efficiently. Past, so present tense. This is when the story is set in present time. You write what is happening as it is happening, step by step. I found this is probably the best way to deliver a story. You will use say instead of said and happening instead of happened. This is great for a linear story, and it also gives you room to bring in other tenses as you progress through your story. Future tense is when you write about something that hasn't happened yet. It's not a widely used tense, but basically there are different types of future tenses. The first one is future simple. This tense describes something that will happen. It is formed using will plus the base form of the verb. For example, she will go to the library. 2. Future continuous. This tense describes an action that will be happening at a specific time in the future. It is formed using will be plus the ing form of the verb. For example, she will be going to the library at 10 a.m. And the last one is future perfect. This tense describes an action that will be completed by a certain time in the future. It is formed using will have plus the past principle of the verb. For example, she will have gone to the library by noon. So there you have it, the different point of views and the tenses to help you on your writing journey this week. I hope that this will help you to set up your point of view and your tenses in a proper way. And if you need any further information, you can also Google online and some writing tips. So until next time, thanks for being here, and I hope this has helped you on your writing journey this week. So until next time, bye for now.